you, grade 8 students. Welcome to another learning experience with me, Teacher AJ from Santa Ana National High School, your teacher broadcaster for today. As we move on to a new lesson in this quarter, make sure you have with you your English 8 Quarter 3 Module 4. In this lesson, you will face different literary texts and engaging activities that will surely help you achieve more insights in analyzing how people are connected despite diverse backgrounds. So if you are ready, let's begin the fun and learning now. In today's lesson, our objectives are: identify the literary features of an Afro-Asian text to unfold its meaning. Number 2, distinguish how people are connected and have shared values despite of cultural diversity. 3, appreciate the Afro-Asian literature by sharing personal thoughts in relation to the text. And 4, analyze literature as a mirror to a shared heritage of people with diverse backgrounds through making an informative essay. Before we start, let's test your knowledge. Answer the Let Us Try Activity 1, Constant Recall in pages 2 to 3 in your self-learning module. You will read a Philippine literature selection entitled The Sun and the Moon that talks about quarrels and enmity of mythical gods. After reading the story, answer the literary focus questions that follow. Great job! You have just answered the activity that serves as a basis to know if you have an idea about the topic. I hope it stimulated your knowledge of your previous lessons, which are the literary elements such as characters, characteristics, plot, setting, and conflict of the story. Great! Your prior knowledge about literary elements will be very useful in our next activities of this lesson as we analyze the given literatures. This time, we will now dig deeper into your understanding of our topic as we do the Let Us Study Activity 1 Photo React. Look closely at the illustration. Did you look at the illustration intently? Great! I am sure that you already have ideas what these are all about. This time, you will answer the motive questions in your self-learning module based on what you have observed from the illustration given. Have fun! Well done! I am certain that you were able to answer all the given questions. Your thoughts in this activity will be very vital in analyzing the literature from the two Asian countries. Let's now proceed to the next activity. Let's do the Activity 2 Anticipation Reaction Guide. Read the set of statements found in the center column in the table. Respond to each statement by drawing a happy face if you agree with the given statements, or a sad face if you disagree with the given statements. First, fill in only the left column. Response before the lesson. Then, at the end of the lesson, complete the right column. Response after the lesson. Did you give your reactions to all the given statements about the traditions, cultures, and shared values of two Asian countries? Excellent! Now, you will find out whether your expectations about the two selected Asian countries are correct by doing the next set of activities. This time, we will proceed to Activity 3 ComCon. Compare and contrast. In this activity, we will read another story of the sun and the moon. But this time, it is from the Korean literature. Before reading the selection, we will first unlock the difficult words from the text. Unlock the difficult words by giving what is asked in the graphic organizer. You may use references like the dictionary for this activity. There are 7 words in this activity. The first one has been done for you as an example. Now, we have already unlocked the difficult words from the text. We are ready to read and grasp the important message of the Korean tale, The Sun and the Moon. Did you enjoy reading the story? The two stories you read were both examples of a folktale. Folktale is a conventional story that is common to a culture or folk and is typically passed on orally. It contains lessons that needs to be grasped and learned. Folktale has many types, like myths, fables, and legends. Both Philippines and Korea have several examples of folktales. Normally, this kind of literature utilizes certain conventions or features. These recognizable features are always present in the story, such as character and characterization, setting, plot, conflict, and theme. Now, we will check your understanding about the two selections you read by filling in the graphic organizer. Fill in the graphic organizer through comparing and contrasting the two stories of the sun and the moon based on the following literary elements: character and characterization, setting, plot, conflict, and theme. Were you able to completely fill in the graphic organizer? Excellent! Now let's study literature. Literature is a form of language that deeply influences the minds of people of all ages. It is also a technical language for several aspects like grammar rules and usage. Literature is the mirror of society. Therefore, a book written in a particular time defines people, their thoughts, and the influences of that era. As time changed, so did people and their works, and of course, literature. Learning literature is very helpful to learners. However, this course needs critical analysis to fully grasp and unfold the message and being able to appreciate the different literary pieces. But before analyzing another literary piece, let us first define and understand what literature is. Literature is a term used to describe written and sometimes spoken material, derived from Latin word literatura or literatura, meaning writing formed with letters. Literature most commonly refers to works of the creative imagination, including poetry, drama, fiction, non-fiction, and in some instances, journalism, and song. Poetry. A literature that evokes a concentrated imaginative awareness of experience or specific emotional response through language chosen and arranged for its meaning, sound, and rhythm. Examples are poems. Prose. It is a form of language that has no formal metrical structure. It applies to a natural flow speech and ordinary grammatical structure, rather than rhythmic structure such as in the case of traditional poetry. Examples are stories, articles, and essays. Drama. It is a mode of fictional representation through dialogue and performance. It is one of the literary genres which is an imitation of some action. Drama is also a type of a play written for theater, television, radio, and film. Examples are Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. Non-fiction. A writing that is about real events and facts, rather than stories that have been invented. Examples we have autobiography, historical and scientific writings. Media. A communication channel through which news, entertainment, education data, or promotional messages are disseminated. For examples, magazines, television, radio, and internet. As mentioned in the previous activities, literary elements are relevant and useful in analyzing literature. So, Let us recall again what are the literary elements. First, we have character and characterization. Character. The characters are the individuals in the story. The characters in a folktale are usually flat. A flat character is a character that has one or two personality traits. Flat characters comprise stereotypes such as wicked stepmother, a traitor friend, and a loyal servant or a wise old man. Characterization. A characterization is a description of the characters. Example given: Katniss Everdeen. She is the main protagonist of the story Hunger Games. She is a courageous woman and an excellent hunter. Next is plot. A plot is a sequence of events. It has 5 elements: introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. In a folktale, a plot is usually simple and short. The beginning leads to complication that continue to the climax and then to the resolution. It often ends happily. Thus, the famous catchphrase which ends most folktales, and they live happily ever after. Then we have setting. The setting is the place and time, or where and when, of the story. In folktales, it often takes the readers to a faraway place and to a time very different from reality, where animals talk and magic is a commonplace. The setting, often in fairy tales, is introduced using opening phrases such as "once upon a time" and "in a land far, far away." Next is conflict. Conflict is a struggle of the main character or characters that needs to be resolved or overcome through benevolence, sympathy, loyalty, courage, and intellect. And lastly, theme. Theme is the underlying message or the central idea of the story. Now, you have refreshed your knowledge about the literary elements. I'm sure you are now ready to answer another activity or activities that would solidify your understanding about the matter. Have fun! You are now ready to answer Activity 5, Vocabulary Building. Answer the word chart. Give the definition of the bold word. Then, give example of words with similar meaning or synonyms, and words that have opposite meaning or antonyms. Finally, use the word in a sentence. Write in the space provided. This time, you will read another literary work from Korea entitled The Tale of Chunya. This piece is one of Korea's most iconic literary works. Though its author and date of composition are unknown, still, the timeless romantic story has been rendered into several films, plays, and other dramatic forms. Multiple versions, but they all adhere to the same basic plot. As you read, identify Korean values and traditions or practices reflected in this literary piece. Happy reading! Did you enjoy reading the story? That's fantastic! Now, let's do the Activity 6, Map Me. Answer the graphic organizer by summarizing the meaning of the identified idea or belief. Identify and record the attitudes embedded in the idea. Then, devise or come up actions or practices that match up the attitude and values. Were you able to completely fill in the graphic organizer? Excellent! This time, let's have Activity 7, Squeezed. Based from the text you have read, provide what is asked. Write your answer in the graphic organizer. Were you able to completely fill in the graphic organizer? That's great! Alright, let us practice more. Let's do the Activity 8, Easy Essay. Write an informative essay where you can create your own title on how people are connected and have shared values despite of cultural diversities. Please refer to page 17 of your self-learning module. Fantastic! You have successfully completed the activities. This time, let's have again the anticipation reaction guide. Read the set of statements found in the center column in the table below. Respond to each statement by drawing a happy face if you agree with the given statements, or a sad face if you disagree with the given statements. Write your answer in the last column. Compare your previous answers with your answers now. Congratulations! You did great! Excellent! Remember that literature is a part of our day-to-day life. It is like a camera that captures every meaningful moment from the past up to the present. It preserves each country's history and heritage. It portrays different stories or forms of written works. Literature provides us an interpretation as to how people coexist and have shared values even though they have different kinds of upbringing or from diverse backgrounds. For your assessment and enhancement activities, please refer to pages 19 to 20 of your self-learning module. And that's it for now, graded students. I hope you learned something new from today's lesson. This has been your teacher broadcaster, Teacher AJ Sepe, leaving you a quote from Anthony J. D'Angelo that says, "Develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow." Thank you and see you again next time.